Calum, a frustrating game.
Yeah, very much so. A disappointing result. I remarked on Saturday that I thought we were still in a difficult moment, and tonight's result reinforces that. So very, very disappointed with the result, frustrated at the performance, aspects of the performance, and fundamentally a game that kicked off at 7:45. May have been the same game, but was a very, very different game by 7:47, 7:48, for the manner of the goal against that you give a team that came to defend. And that's not a criticism. I thought they were excellent defensively and they got a clean sheet here. They've had something to defend after minute 1, minute 2, which is really, really poor. That is why the result is, it can be a very, very different game if that doesn't happen, if we put the players where we get in areas and we do the wrong thing. We make the wrong decision, we fail to execute, we cross the ball, we kick the ball over the bar, we look to over-combine, we slip in the box when we're about to shoot. That's frustrating at 0-0. When you're 1-0 down, that's the difference in the result.
Potentially a penalty when Glendon went down, your view on that in the second half?
And when you come as the home team manager after a home defeat and you are willing to speak to the media, which I've never shirked, never asked anyone else to come and do for me, I'll talk about my team's performance, not the away team and not the officials.
It was a frustrating game as well, generally, in terms of time wasting, my words, and a few decisions that possibly, for both sides, went different ways than possibly the majority would have thought.
I've gone in and spoke to the players after the game, and I've probably had another 15 minutes or so afterwards where we're with the staff and we're analysing. And look, it's then when the physio comes in and reports, I think we'll lose Kieran Coates for 6 to 8 weeks from the challenge at the end with a shoulder injury. And you're going, wow. And then there's 2 more, one in the defensive line, one in the midfield line, with one looks like a knock, one looks like more than a knock, and you're going, right. But rewind, you're talking with the staff and you're analysing and you analyse and you overanalyse and you look at this. We played really well on Saturday. We didn't play as well tonight. We were better tonight than we were in 2 really poor performances in and around the first week of the new year. However, the result today is similar, well, it's the same as those first 2 games of the year. Why? If we're going to fail to score, if we're going to fail to convert, you have shapes, systems, ways of playing. We have got the players in. We've given the players opportunities and chances to create chances and goal scoring opportunities, and we've not been able to do it. We've not been able to cross the ball. We've not been able to execute. Right now, that is why we don't score. And then at the other end of the pitch, the manner of the goals we've conceded in the last 6 to 8 games is ludicrous. And one tonight, if you were to ask me for a short analysis of the game, team performance, okay, good in patches, reacted really well to going a goal down. Individual performances from a couple, and by the way, players that have been very, very good for us for a period of time that either haven't been tonight or haven't for a little spell, or players that are very popular, and often that helps you avoid externally a level of criticism, that have failed to deliver tonight or in them block of games. So that's why the performance has been why the performances have, because you're so reliant in this sport on individuals. But the results, we can't concede the goal. We can't concede a goal like that in the first minute.
Are the players aware that possibly they're not even reaching the levels that they know as players they should be reaching?
I think the responsibility for results rests with the manager. I think, and I've asked our supporters that rather than criticise the individuals and pick out that this is where the manager has to take it. And look, and I knew this isn't the first sticky spell I've had at this club, because the sticky spell I had was when I was appointed as a starting point. The sticky spell we had was last January when we picked up 6 points in 7 games, 6 draws, a defeat. We have to get through it, but we won't get through it without high-level individual performances that will mean high-level collective performances. We can have, I've referenced it earlier, shapes, systems, ways of playing. We can motivate, we can do this with the ball and this without the ball. We can't concede a goal like that. That can't happen on the halfway line. And then in possession, we can't get in crossing positions under no pressure and put the ball in the stand. We can't have those shooting opportunities and turn them down, and I don't understand why, because that's where our goals come. What there is at the moment is a real lack of confidence, and I have to stick my chest out and I have to lead, and I talked about it, everything I said on Saturdays, still true, just because we've had a disappointing result tonight and a positive one on Saturday. And when the goal against happens the way it does, we talk a lot as a group about accountability. I have to be accountable, and I understand that. We have a collective team performance tonight that's okay. I'm not saying good, don't misquote me. It isn't where we want to be in the levels that you referenced. We've certainly set ourselves over a period of time. We've been okay, we've been fine against a good team, a team that will improve between now and the end of the season. They did that last year, but we've gifted them a lead. And some of the individual performances have created a situation where we concede the goal that we have, and then at the other end of the pitch we aren't able to respond.
You go again on, dust yourself down, go again on Saturday against the team, as it stands at the moment, who are bottom of the table, in Bishop Stortford.
We just have to fight through the difficult moments. It's very, very easy to throw the towel in. That's, from my point of view, that's not in my DNA. Never has been. Here, Runcorn Linnets, any job I've ever had from when I left school at 16, I'll fight and I'll be the best me, and I will do everything I can to get the group where they were on Saturday. Let's have that right, where they were 4 days ago. I know the group, and I've been in the dressing room, I've felt the disappointment, the frustration, the hurt at a disappointing start to the calendar year and a very, very disappointing result. Dusting ourselves down is the easy bit. Bodies wise, it's going to be really tough. We are in a position where we can bring in, I think you can see what we need, and we need, for me, one in each unit to strengthen, to support, to give options, to give competition, because we can't just keep rolling out the same things. But I expect I talked about a difficult period that I think will last for the rest of the month, with difficult fixtures, with players unavailable. But I'm not going to come out here and talk about injuries. I put that team on the pitch Saturday. People raved about them, and I put the same team, very rare and him, an unchanged 11. I actually don't really like doing it, but that's the position where we do so well. We do it again on the Tuesday. And collectively, done okay. Mistake, the result, individual performances, some we're really, really not happy with. So Saturday will come, and we've got to be together again. I remind the fans of that, of the group have done a lot for the football club. Where there's frustration, direct that to the manager. That's the manager's job, particularly at this club, to take that, to be ready, to lead, to be mature, to be stable in what we're trying to do. And you talk about dusting ourselves down, that should be the easy bit, because when you disappoint collectively, we feel that, and we all have to play our part in improving. As individuals, when you fall short, that should hurt you. Certainly it hurts me when I feel that I've not contributed something to any situation. I know some of our individuals, I think I know them, and I feel like I'll get a massive response, because we can't miss the opportunity that we have to be in the top 7. And I say that a lot. We have to be in the top 7. It isn't about anything other than finishing in 7th place. In a way, you wish that we hadn't got the points that we got against the Scunthorpes at the time, as the South Shields at the time, and we've been more consistent and more reliable in the sides at the other end of the league. Between now and the end of the season, we have to fight. We have to get those points. Collective performances like tonight probably won't be enough. It'll be a foundation. Individual performances have got to improve. I have to lead that. I understand that. I've got to be responsible for it. That has to start on Saturday.
Any new players before Saturday coming in?
We've identified an option that I don't think is certainly not before Saturday, but you can see we want a different option. You can see what we've done shape-wise and stuff. I want to add to an area where we're now using more players, and someone that is a little bit different to what we've got, that can support the group and be a different option. Identified the player, it would be a lone option, not a young player, someone that's out of favour at their club at the moment. It's very easy when you're not scoring goals to talk about forwards. We need to look at the bit in between, and whether we want to add someone in a unit where we might create a little bit more from the ball, from the territory. I can't moan about a lot of possession, but I recognise that our recruitment at times this year has just been in a really happy with our summer recruitment, pleased with the players we brought to the club, pleased with what we retained. At times during the season we've been recruiting from a position where, right, we don't have 16 players for the weekend. It's always going to be the challenge at Chester, squad size, budgets, etc. Every club has their pressures, that's ours. But I certainly feel we've identified the players, and we are, as a club, in a position to make that happen as and when it really can. I don't think that'll be before Saturday. We'll have to work with what we've got. We've got enough in the changing room because they've done it time and time again. But yes, you're right, we need to add to the group, we need to improve the group, and we need to be better, all of us, and that is the collective, the individual, and the results with that.
Calum, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.